Hey guys, Richard at Ryden's Room here, doing my latest review in the shed, not in my room. I am the ferrets, you can see them. So yeah, on to it. So this is for the next Doctor episode. This is the Cybermen Part 1 episode. Oh, what was this called? One episode called The Age of Steel. I believe that is tomorrow's episode. Rise of the Cybermen, maybe? I'll have to have a look. But yeah, basically the Sideman episode part 1, we'll call it. So the plot of this episode is that Doctor, Mickey and Rose end up in a parallel Earth where things are slightly different. CG, there's an evil twin sort of way of thinking. The difference is that there's no Rose, her mum and dad are together, and Mickey's grandmother is still alive. And the Zeppelins all in the sky. There's a curfew until 10 p.m. and the Cybermen are basically being recreated. So, quick basic history lessons. Feels like it's slightly wrong. I know the basics from the odd episode I've seen. But in the old Doctor Who, the Cybermen were from a different planet, the 10th planet. There was like a 10th one in the solar system which got knocked out of orbit. And the people on there, in order to stay alive, upgraded themselves. They willingly chose to become, part man, part machine. And in this story, it's fairly starting again, but a different type of beginning. So this business owner called John Lumick, Trigger from Only Fools, he is dying and he's desperate to stay alive, and you've basically got this dream. He's basically created a metal suit that his brain can be hooked into and he can live forever as a machine, and he's trying to get this approved. Of course the government do not approve it because it's not just unethical, it's obscene. As the president, again, this is another still that difference in the parallel universe. They got a president, not a prime minister. Oh, you look well. I'll just come up on the screen. Yeah, there he is. Hey, yo, boy. Yeah, good thing these shed vids, you get to see the animals sometimes. So yeah, another difference, president, not prime minister. Otherwise it's a similar government. Yeah, he says his government, and he imagines no other government in the world would ever approve this. John Lumick decides to do it anyway, and basically lures homeless people in with the promise of food, has them all killed, and turned into Cybermen, absolutely against their wills. This is the main difference. The original Cybermen willingly did this themselves, whereas in this world only one person is willing to do this to himself. That's because it's his only way of staying alive. No one else ever will, and these Cybermen are basically being forced into it. So yeah, he's basically built up a small number by taking homeless people in, having them murdered by his henchmen and having them converted. And the episode basically ends with Rose has decided she has to go meet her dad, ends up at Jackie's birthday party, and the Cybermen invade there, kill the president for not willing to cooperate, and kill most other people in the house who don't get away, although you see Jackie manages to escape into the cellar. And Pete escapes with Doctor and Rose, and they all get cornered at the end. Other characters are Mickey. He goes off to find his find somewhere he really wants to be. He ends up there as well. And the episode's basically Doctor, Rose, Pete, Mickey, and a couple of other people from this group Mickey falls in with. He's in cornered. The Cybermen are not willing to upgrade them because they refuse to be upgraded and they follow the president's lead, or perhaps they can sense the Doctor's alien DNA, because it's not clear whether they're saying that none of you are compatible or just you are not compatible. Because again, old Doctor Who, they could scan for scan human biology and they detect the Doctor and he was never compatible with them. So yeah, on to the rest of it. So I forget, I don't want to, because skin feels like it did yesterday. So yeah, Mickey clearly having enough of being the Doctor likes having them around, there's no doubt about that, but it's blatantly obvious Rose is his favourite. When Rose goes off to meet her dad despite Doctor's protest, and Mickey says he wants to go off and do something he wants to, Doctor knows nothing about him, and it's quite clear Mickey, go on then, run after her, you can't run after me, can you? And yeah, Mickey basically says, yeah, I'll see you later, unless I find something better. You gotta feel so bad for the guy. He's really likeable. He's put up with Rose's terrible behaviour. One word for it. Again, I don't think they're a couple at this point, but it's never flat out said. And yeah, it just turns out his dad went off to Spain, abandoned the family. Don't know what happened to the mum. She probably might have just died. But he had a grandmother who also died, and he's pretty much been on his own since. That's probably why he's so attached to Rose, and by default Jackie as well, because the episode confirmed he did a lot of odd jobs to Jackie around the house because of that. But yeah, the first place he goes to is his grandmother's, sees her there, and there's a pretty sad moment when it turns out his grandmother's blind, looks at the stairs, sees the carpet's really damaged, and he's this moment where he says, told you to fix that carpet, you're gonna fall and break your neck. Yeah, sorry, my bad acting there, but that's basically it. You can just tell that is exactly what happened, and yeah, Mickey like clearly wants to be there, and of course a little nod to the Night Doctor's joke, calling him Ricky, not Mickey. In this world, his double. There may be no Rose. Rose is the Yorkshire Terrier to the Doctor's amusement. But yeah, Mickey is Ricky. So yeah, he's like scowl. Basically, the way you tell the two actors apart is he's scowling away non-stop. Think his performance in Kidulthood. So yeah, he ends up with a group. They basically abduct Mickey, thinking he's Ricky, ends up there and strip him down to his underwear, and there Ricky is like wondering what's going on because he doesn't look like him. He's exactly the same. So yeah, Mickey ends up there, and you just get the feeling that Mickey's going to stay in that world at the end even if something happened to Ricky, or if it didn't. You can just tell he wants to be with his grandmother. In some way, he feels like he's got a purpose, which he clearly doesn't have. You feel quite bad for the guy. I mean, yeah, there's some good scenes when he's like bonding with the Doctor over like how the TARDIS works, how the rules of like sci-fi parallel universes, etc. But yeah, you get a feeling that he's been treated as second best. It's just really not fair. But yeah, other things. Pete is not only is Pete that's alive and married, he's like extremely rich, and he's one of John Lumick's like henchmen, the top guys. And then Jackie is just the worst. You can see that all this like wealth she's got is just made her a terrible person. There's a scene where Rose is trying to like connect with her, and she just tears her apart, and you feel quite bad for Rose. And I don't feel bad for Rose often in this series, but yeah, you do. So yeah, you'll see what money's done to a lot of people. So yes, that's it basically. Mickey, Ricky, Jake. Can't remember his name, but one of the characters from Backer Grove. He's in there. Same accent. I miss Biker. Good show, although I didn't watch it towards the end. I wonder if it ever had a DVD release. But yeah, basically they are up there surrounded by Cybermen are planning to like kill everyone, or maybe just the Doctor, who knows. Let's just say everyone. And it ends on a cliffhanger. Oh yeah, the Cybermen have got a new catchphrase now. Before their closest thing they had to a catchphrase was like, you will be upgraded. Oh, you will become like us. And then they use lines like upgrade in progress. Here it's delete. Very lame catchphrase, delete. It makes them sound like they're more computer than like hell, even robotic. But yeah, I suppose they were going to. But yeah, so that is basically it. So it's a good episode. It's fun seeing the differences. Oh, another thing before I forget, as I forgot way too much in the episode. Speaking of yesterday's episode, Mickey was wearing a Nintendo Know Your Roots t-shirt. In 2006, I had the exact same t-shirt, but it was white rather than a sort of darker white colour. So yeah, I should have mentioned that before. But so in this one, everyone has these ear pods that basically transfer information directly. They download information straight into their head, like texts, alerts for like normally what you get on your phone. You browse the internet for, I don't know, BBC News, etc. This time it's just being like downloaded straight into their heads. It's got these cool earpieces. Weather, football, jokes, it all gets being downloaded. So yeah, it's quite a cool feature, and that'll obviously be important. But yeah, again, this is what I like about this episode actually, in just how this seems this is the future. This is 2006. We're not quite putting ear pods, downloading data straight into our heads just yet. But 6, we're joking this is the future, and it's still the future, just maybe taking a bit longer. So yeah, that's it. So end of part 1, end of like the story. So part 1 over, part 2 next week, and tomorrow rather. So yeah, I liked it. Not the greatest episode of all. There are better Cybermen stories out there. But this Cybermen episode nowhere near the very best, like the Tomb of the Cybermen with Patrick Troughton's second Doctor. But it's a good story. He's got great ideas in. Yeah, it's always fun doing the parallel universe thing. It's not something Doctor had ever really done before at this point. So yeah, good episode, and definitely one of the better ones in the series. And I'm pretty sure if I'm right, part 2 is the better one. But I was actually saying this to Gemma earlier. This Doctor Who series finales, I found most of the time part 1 is far better, where part 2 just fails completely. Like they don't have a good resolution. Although that's not the case with series 1. That's one where I feel part 2 is much better. But yeah, up with the non-series finales, part 2 tends to be better, and this is I'm sure this was the case. So yeah, this is it. A bit of a longer video than before, but I'm sure if this follows the pattern of Aliens of London World War 3, tomorrow's video will be really, really short with this, really, really long. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later.